Okay. All right, welcome into Philadelphia Walks PTSD. My name is Sharon Cole, or Sharon or Cole, whatever you want to refer to me as, in a good way. I don't care. I've been called everything under the sun: rat, pig, dog, cat, horse, mouse, squirrel, hamster, gerbil, you name it. It's been said, and I don't know what it means. And I'm okay with that because apparently everybody has a secret coded language to make themselves feel important. And they know what these references mean, but I don't. So I've always been a don't tread on me person, I guess, as opposed to a join or die herd mentality of hive mind brains. So anyway, just coming on for my one video each day, 365 days, seeking donors campaign, seeking people with deep pockets, little pockets, big and tall, short and small, on this day 66 of that campaign, because it actually is a very serious matter. And I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment. And if that weren't enough, the games commenced after that. And I'm not sure if Philly has a habit of stocking its city with certain types of people, or if it's a regional thing, because we're in the Delmarva-ish area. If it's a political thing, that would be like my best guess. In other parts of the country or even the world, people might not be as in tune with the government because they lead totally different lives. But when you're closer to the government, and in a place like between New York and DC, then maybe it's a hotbed of stupidity. I'm kidding. Everybody has to feel important. And what makes someone feel more important than feeling like they're in the CIA or working for the government in some way? So I'm more of a private person. I prefer and respect privacy. But interestingly, there seems to have been a fusion of church and state on some level, and state meaning the State Department, which would include, I actually think, is the president part of, so there's the federal government, the State Department, so there's the Secretary of State. Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State back during, was that during the Obama administration? Yeah, it must have been, because she went up against Trump. So anyway, but interestingly, whatever was unleashed upon me, and this is what I kind of wanted to talk about in the video today, it has been dubbed Godlike Productions. Like some people, there was actually a website out there called Godlike Productions. I don't know if it still exists. I looked for it at one point and I couldn't find it. It's also a website where they can choose to allow people in. They could block people out if they want to, if they think that you're not a true victim per se or what have you. So, but I did learn a lot from their website back in the day. And it's as if a whole bunch of self-righteous people who actually think they're superior to everyone, who actually believe they're higher level. And for some reason, they don't seem to see people who might actually be higher than them. I think that's fascinating. But they will carry out all kinds of activity like whistleblower-like harassment, scare tactics, mind games. They will even, hey, let's bring her in. We'll have her work here for a few months, and we'll keep orchestrating until it builds up into a big, gigantic, very bad situation that'll trigger her PTSD. I'll just give an example. Like that would be an example of what they would try to do. I don't know why people have these mindsets. These would be people who need to be in control so badly that it's out of control. So, and things can look like godlike productions, or it could seem godlike because things, in my case, were experienced that seemed almost supernatural. Or, how is it possible that every time I go to the bathroom, an emergency responder with its sirens on comes flying by my apartment for 2 to 3 months, to the point of, this is totally crazy. I'm going to wait and use the bathrooms at my clients' houses. In fact, I had clients who were like, we know you're out here all day walking dogs. If you have to use the bathroom feel free. We have a powder room here. We got this here, whatever. Don't worry. Take some water if you want. There are friendly people out here. But interestingly, it was so bad at one point, and I was thinking, how is it possible that every time I go to the bathroom, and I was in a small apartment at the time, a shoebox-like apartment, so it was like bedroom, kitchen. I'm still in a small apartment. It's just in a different layout and setting. But point being, I couldn't go to the bathroom without that happening. But interestingly, the one thing that kept me wondering how it logically could happen is because I kept looking at YouTube videos back in the day, trying to figure out what was going on. So I found websites, YouTube videos, what have you, and I found a guy out of Pittsburgh who was saying that he was gang stalked or community mobbed. And he named like a million things, and he happened to say that a lot of these people happened to work for airline industries. And I thought that was weird. I thought it was odd that in his case, he was saying, oh my God, it seems like all these people who work as airline stewardesses or pilots, or whatever, they're all in on it per se. I thought that was a little strange because I actually was experiencing very bizarre activity by people, but they appeared to be people from all walks of life, no definitive anything. So it was like I tried to logically figure out what it was, but there were people who actually did things, and I actually had things left in front of my apartment, and all kinds of scare tactics. And I was scared out of my apartment the first night that everything kicked off, and I do believe that was orchestrated. It's almost like someone creating a really low budget, like mini secretive movie at 3:00 in the morning. So anyway, but point being, this guy created a whole video about his experience, and literally like within the next 2 days, every time I went to the bathroom, a siren vehicle went by. I used to live near a hospital, not one that has a major emergency room, but Good Shepherd. These are smaller entities that are used for things like almost like after you're in a hospital, they would transfer you somewhere else to then do physical therapy or whatever. But Tillman and Good Shepherd and Sharon's Bank, and that's enough for people to realize I wound up living near Sharon's Bank, and my name is Sharon. So, and Sharon's Bank, and I looked it up, has been around, forever, so I don't know how it all comes to be. There's also a Cole House, the Cole House, which is part of a credit card bank in Delaware, MBNA Bank, where I worked. So the Cole House, Sharon's Bank, and there are more. I could get into all the yoga studios, and we won't get, there's so much going on that it's like, that is crazy. What if they build city infrastructures around certain families? And I'm not saying just me, but anyway, the guy from Pittsburgh had a bathroom and siren problem. I wound up trying to go to the bathroom, and every time heard a siren and decided, you know what, I'll just go at other people's homes and figure out how to, keep going. Like I just kept thinking to myself, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. That would be one of the things that kept me going. But it is like Godlike Productions, and it is like witnessing a lot of people who somehow wind up in your surroundings. And I walk dogs, so I was outside a lot. So if people knew my schedule, which was I kept it pretty much the same. I tried to switch it up to mess people up. It didn't matter. There were people who knew exactly where I walk dogs every day, and they would play out all kinds of scenarios, like actual skits and scenarios. But they also carried with them a sense of superiority, like a condescending and patronizing superiority, not like a true healthy person who's in control. I mean, we can only control our own lives to an extent. And in a way, it's out of control. It's like they are so severely needing to be in control of another person that it's a serious, serious mental problem. And I'm going to put it on them because you don't get to control other people. That's some sort of fallacy that's been peddled out there to certain people. I don't know why it's being done. But anyway, I'll wind it up here. It's Godlike Productions. It's so out of control. They always need to have the upper hand, and they always have to behave in such a way with a certain type of airs or condescension or patronizing manner in order to keep people down here. And they kind of giggle like, oh, that's just, oh, lies, lies, lies. That's so silly. I can't even do it. There are people who have very specific behaviors or an essence. I don't know how to do it because it actually hurts me to try to make someone else feel like they don't know as much as I do. Like, or, you know what, I wouldn't even propose that. I would say, I know a certain thing. I've learned certain things in my life, and other people learn certain things. So to patronize someone else about this, It's, you know, the type. You know, they always have to act as if they're higher up, and they never learned a very important thing, equality. Okay, so thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.